So I always recommend my clients, especially females, fueling before and after a workout.
That's such an important aspect.
Very big, because now there's this thing where, okay, I'm going into the workout fasted, or I haven't eaten anything in hours. You're gonna have a low energy level. You might not be able to last as long in the workout. And also there's a fear of, which can definitely happen, is you're breaking down muscle instead of fat. Yeah. So we need the body to supply with nutrients, right? So that's what I always tell my female clients especially, is never go into a workout fasted. Men can get away a little bit more with fasted workouts because of, again, the testosterone level, right? So they can get away with that. But for females, always something, even if it's something light, an hour and a half prior to. And then post-workout, of course, everybody needs to fuel. Right? As soon as they can. It doesn't have to be right after. I know there's a big thing where it's like you have to
have like 40 grams of protein post-workout.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I always recommend having a little bit of protein, higher carb before a workout, low fat.
And what would that look like?
I would say like someone can have even a Greek yogurt.
Okay.
Right? With some berries. Right? Even a little bit of granola, whatever, right? Because you want to make sure that it's supplying you some energy. If you're having a light meal, you just want to make sure you have a few hours to digest it. So if it has a little bit heavier, you don't want to be going into the workout, right? So that too, but always a little bit lower in fat prior to the workout too, because the fats take the longest to digest. Post-workout, high protein, high carb, good fats, right?
And what does high carb look like?
High carb would be, you're getting your fruits or your vegetables. It depends if you're having a smoothie or if you're having a meal. You would add the carbohydrates in, like, even if it's rice, chicken, vegetables in there. So you have all your major food groups, right? So it's a little bit higher in the carb content, right? Than having a low carb. And even if you're a little bit with your starches and more with your vegetables, that's fine too. Those count as carbohydrates as well, right? It's getting in your fiber in there as well. So we're going to.
Does this diet also work if somebody is losing weight? Because there is also a myth that if you have to lose weight, you have to be on a high protein and a low carb diet. I've tried that. I've done it for a long time, but it makes you feel like shit.
Yes. Yeah, no filter for sure. It really does, because then your body needs energy, right? And the thing is, a lot of people have to realize when you change your diet, especially if you're increasing your protein, sometimes increasing the protein, you're going to feel so full and bloated and you're like, I can't eat anymore. Your body has to adapt. So you have to wait till your body adapts. And so that's why the beginning is always a little more challenging. And, increase your protein by 30 grams a week. You're increasing 30 grams a week. So if you're eating, if you're measuring, if you're using a fitness app where it's measuring your food, your macronutrients, which is your carbs, proteins, and fats in grams, you see what you're hitting. You kind of have to take like a little food diary. That really helps. And I try to get my clients to go into a habit that way. And if they don't have time to track, then we just sit down and kind of go over, okay, what are you mainly eating throughout the week? What's your typical day, right? So we try to make minor adjustments, because when it's weight loss, you have to have a bit of a deficit, right? That's the only way you're going to lose weight, if you have a deficit.
And what is a deficit?
So if your calories in versus out. So if your body burns, let's say, 2,500 calories at rest, let's just say that, right? Then if you want to drop weight, you have to eat and give out energy that's going to be more than that, right? Because then you are going to create that deficit where your body's going to realize, oh, okay, we're not having as much overfueling, I would say. And then your body's going to respond, and then you're going to drop weight. Your body's going to adjust to that. So even putting on a pound of muscle is a huge improvement, because you know that you're going to be burning more calories at rest. For some people, it means, oh, I can eat more. But then others who want to, kind of contradict that, they want to maybe drop a bit in the calorie deficit. Protein, we always want to be high. That's why when we calculate the macronutrients, you require a certain amount of protein, carbs, and fats in a day. If you go beyond those numbers, you'll gain weight. If you go a little bit below, you drop weight, right? So that's why we tend to manipulate the numbers a little bit. Really depends from individual to individual. That's why coaching is important, because when I was in fitness competition, my coach really taught me on what to watch and what to look for. Low fats.
Low fats?
Yeah, I was doing a low fat, but everybody's prep is different, because some people, like you said, they do low carb, high fat, high protein. So
That's
people
keto, I guess, right?
That's more keto.
I've done keto, yeah.
Yes.
My cholesterol shot up.
See, so for not for everybody is good because keto was meant for different reasons in the past, right? For medical reasons, but also going low fat, high carb, high protein was really beneficial for a lot of people. Fitness competitions in general because they're lifting more weights, so they need the energy, they need the burn, and the fats is the easiest macronutrient to go up.
Go up. It's in everything. It's in
Everything. What is it? A tablespoon of olive oil is like how many 20 grams of fat or something? It's high. And how much oil do you use when you're cooking? Sometimes you don't measure.
Yeah. And especially with all the processed foods that you eat.
Processed foods, all the additives.
Fats, carbs, protein. Like now, if you look at the label, there are stuff I don't even recognize. I sometimes have to chat GPT and I'm like,
whole
what?
other ball game now. Is the processed foods, the additives, that will affect the system as well, yes, and prevent effective weight loss because it feels like you're putting all these chemicals in your body and your body's like, what do I do with it, right? Like, what is this, right? It's not going to function properly. So yeah, I always tell my clients, go as clean as you can and stick to the outer layers of the grocery store. Don't go in between those aisles.
Walmart and Costco.
Yeah, right? Oh yeah, Costco too. I mean, you have to be smart, yeah, but you have to definitely read the ingredients a bit. I know you might be going a little crazy with checking the ingredients, but that's why I say, like, just stick to whole foods as much as you can because your body's going to crave those nutrients, right?
So even when it comes to whole foods, are fruits okay? Because fruits contain sugar. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, so that's another great question because my clients ask me that all the time too. And it's true, you do have to measure everything because, if you look at a mango, like mango is a very high sugar fruit, but it has a lot of benefits to it. So instead of having a whole mango, you would chop it up, maybe freeze it, and maybe put a few portion of that in your smoothie or in your bowl or whatever you're doing because it does add up, absolutely. So I would say portioning your fruit is definitely a good thing. Yeah, even just using measuring cups, like having a half cup of fruit or berries, or even if you are have a medical limitation, like even if you're diabetic or anything like that, have well-balanced meals where you're not, topping up the fruit like crazy. You're probably going to have more of a smaller portion, or maybe stick with the lower glycemic fruit where it's berries, right? Cantaloupe, things like that, where it's less in sugar. And then the higher sugar fruits, if they're your favorite, yeah, they have nutrients in them. I always recommend just doing a smaller portion, right? And freezing them because you don't want to waste fruit, of course. Then you're like, what do I do with the rest of it? Well, if your family doesn't eat it, then freeze it. Use it for smoothies. Pack it up, right?
You can still have it when you're on a weight loss.
Oh, you can. Yeah. Honestly, like I really love the flexible dieting approach, I call it, because you're getting nutrients from all types of food. But for some people, it's easier to stick to the same thing every day.
I love that.
Right? Yeah. Because then, and that's fine. You can have your staple foods, right? You can have your staple foods. My little ones again running around in the background. So that's the thing, right? So just honestly, portion control, yes, is a big thing. But then your body's gonna adapt to what you're giving it, right? Once you start giving it this instead of this, you're gonna start getting used to this, right? Again, breaking bad habits, making better habits. Right?
Okay. So one was the workout aspect. Then we covered as to you have to maintain a deficit in order to lose fat. And you also have to look at the nutrient label and stay away from the processed food, and a portion control is also a very good aspect of it.
Absolutely.
So that covers the entire strength training part and the weight loss part.